All right, hello, welcome to the Mark and Joe Show. Today we're going to talk about an article that we were reading about a 12-year-old girl named Alexis Portell. She's suing Jeff Sessions over legalizing marijuana nationwide. Now, a little history about this. She suffered from seizures, and one doctor recommended brain surgery. And then a pediatrician presented them with a different option, medical marijuana. But in their case, it would be difficult because they lived in Texas.
No, in their case, they wouldn't be able to do it because they lived in Texas.
So
because Texas is just...
It's illegal.
Yeah, Texas is going to be the last state to probably legalize it anyway.
Okay, so the family moved the 6th grader. From there, they moved to Colorado. She was treated with a medical marijuana strain titled Haley's Hope with just one single drop in the morning and at night. She hasn't suffered a seizure in a little more than 2 years.
That's 2 years.
I'd say that's a lot better than brain surgery.
Yeah. But you also got to compare this one, too, to the one, that little girl, Charlotte.
Charlotte, yeah.
Which was 300 seizures a day. Can you imagine having 300 seizures a day?
Oh, yeah. She couldn't get out of bed. She couldn't feed herself. She couldn't dress. She couldn't talk. She couldn't do nothing. But now she can do all of that.
At the time that all this was going on, she was a toddler at that time as well.
Yeah, and the Stanley brothers out of Colorado, they developed a strain, and they named it after her and called it Charlotte's Web.
Charlotte's Web.
Right.
And after a dose of that, it took it down from 300 seizures a day. Now add this up.
I know her story was
300
on YouTube.
seizures a day. So you got 300 times 7. That's 2,100 fucking seizures every
She was bedridden.
week.
That's just plain and simple. She was bedridden.
Now, after treatment with her strand, after treatment with her strand of Charlotte's Web, she wound up going from 2,100 seizures a week down to 2, maybe 3.
Average.
She can live a normal life. A month.
She can live a normal life now. She can even go to school.
Now, that's a comparison. Now, we're going to go back to this young lady, Alexis.
Now, she's suing, and she's joined this lawsuit, and I'm sure this has got to do with California coming in and so on and so forth.
You got California, you got Oregon, you got Washington, you got
all the legal states are trying to fight this because
Michigan has it as medicinal. Illinois was just this year talking about doing it.
Some haven't acted on it and opened anything yet. It's just on the books. Okay, now her reasoning is she'd like, and I understand this girl, and I feel for her, and I agree with her wholeheartedly that it should be legalized nationwide. Right across the board. They need to get it off the Schedule 1, but we'll get back to that. But she's like, I would like to be able to visit my grandparents without risking being taken to a foster home. That's what she asked, why she joined the lawsuit. I mean, so if she goes back to Texas, she could be taken away from her parents because they're treating her with marijuana, and it's helping her live a normal life with very few seizures. The kid probably couldn't have gone to school before. Now I bet
she did. It's just...
But, you get teased, and you know how kids are nowadays. They're worse than when you and I grew up.
Oh, God.
Now, marijuana has been long classified by the Drug Enforcement Agency. Now, here's the kicker to this. We all, let this one sink in for a minute. As a Schedule 1 narcotic, placing it in the same category as ecstasy and LSD. Marijuana is listed more dangerous than Schedule 2 narcotics, such as cocaine and methamphetamine.
Which, those are prescribable by a doctor.
And those are prescribable by a doctor.
And cocaine.
And so that means those pills can kill you.
Yes, they can.
Morphine and so on and so forth. Now, how is that rational? How is it even compassionate? Now, I'm quoting this girl's father. But how is that not compassionate either? But rationality, it's just outrageous, the girl's father said. When you look at it from a distance and you see it saving lives, me as a father and an American, I go, what are we doing? How could you possibly look at someone who's benefiting from this as a medicine and then take it away? Well, that's Jeff Sessions and our politicians for you.
Yeah.
I mean, Jeff Sessions is such a...
It's mostly Republicans.
But Jeff Sessions is such a backwards person. He doesn't even want to look.
Well,
or
Jethro
with
Bodine
an
Sessions
open
is
mind.
from the South.
Yeah, but he doesn't even want to think about it with an open mind.
Think about it now. Jethro Bodine Sessions is from the South. And the South is still pissed off about slavery being taken away from them in the first place. He
needs to get his old ass out of the office.
It's not just that.
I mean,
we need to get rid of the politicians that don't want to actually look at what's going on in the world today. We need to take care of our people here in the United States.
I know. We do. That goes back to that one about those commercials, but we're not going to go there.
Right now, and it doesn't matter what party you belong to. It doesn't matter what party you're talking about.
I think they should get rid of it. Get rid of the parties.
Both parties.
It'd be a lot easier to find somebody.
Have bought out politicians on both sides.
Well, that's the big business billionaires that just decides they want things. They want the tax breaks and all of that, and then the poor get poorer and the rich get richer.
Take marijuana off of the Schedule 1 is because of pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, well, they'll lose a lot of money.
It's just like the one that one I posted on our Facebook page. That one I made a comment about. If the true truth of marijuana and what it fights and how it works
and there's a lot of scientific facts out there. Just look it up.
What you benefit from it if that all came out.
Big Pharma would lose a lot of money.
Pharma would lose their ass. Big Pharma would lose their ass.
That
and
stock
Big Tobacco would lose their ass too.
Oh, I don't know. Tobacco companies might make a fortune off of it by making...
If they go the right way with it and
if they take it and start making packs of packs of joints like they do cigarettes.
Yes. Marijuana needs to be taken off of Class 1.
Pre-rolled joints.
Marijuana needs to be taken off of any of the classing of
as long as Trump and some of these assholes are in office that backwards talk on themselves, it ain't going to happen.
Source, man. I mean, marijuana is not dangerous.
And then look at
unless you lace it with something, or you use it, or you do it like skunk weed, and you chemically induce it as it's growing.
That goes back to what happened. Well, we won't go there, but then there's the other benefit when they grow it where they grow the weed where it's not potent. Okay.
Right. They grow the non-potent strands of it.
And then they make paper out of it. Well, that saves our forest. Well, see some of those what are them?
Well, you got paper companies here in Wisconsin and the northern tier that are pissed off about that too. They don't want hemp around. They're probably they're probably backing some of this bullshit about keeping it on that list anyway.
I don't know.
Because
it could be cheaper for them.
They would make money off of it if they actually do it the right way. Yeah. And I'll tell you, most of these companies that are here in Wisconsin, the paper companies and stuff, they're owned by the Koch brothers. The Koch brothers are fucking evil.
I'll tell you
what. They are a sore on the ass of this country. That's why we can't sit down anymore. They're a fucking plague in this country's bloodstream.
But we're not talking about them.
They need to be removed. I don't care if we're not talking about them or not. They came up in the conversation because of the fact.
But you take that.
It's all tied in.
There's some of those guys out there, and I know for a fact, some of these people. If you take the paper, you take the cost of production of paper with hemp, and then making paper out of our lumbers and trees, I bet you the cost is a lot different. That would save them a lot of overhead.
Here's one for you.
That means their profits would go up, their stocks would go up. Hey, their employees could possibly make more money, or they could hire more people.
Here's something.
Because they could grow it themselves.
Here's something to think about, okay? Okay, now.
And it grows pretty quickly. Think about it.
Now.
How long does it take for a tree to grow? Anybody know?
Think about this. Think about this now, okay? You're making paper out of hemp. You're wiping your ass with something you smoke.
Yeah, but see, if you go back in history, the Declaration of Independence, and some of those big documents in history, they were written on hemp paper.
Yeah, a lot of them were, but they also were the parchment too.
If I'm not mistaken,
parchment's made from lamb.
And if I'm not mistaken, that Martha Washington, who made our flag, that first flag.
Martha Washington wasn't. It was.
Well, whoever it was,
Susan B. Anthony.
Whoever made that flag, I'll bet you that was made out of hemp. That first one.
I don't know. It could have been.
That was a big thing back then, using the
hemp
cloth and the hemp rope and stuff like that, because it was easy to make. It grows quickly. You know.
Yep.
I mean, come on.
Well, one of the reasons.
Profit. Big Pharma loses. Oh, and then there's a lot of other companies that might lose because we forgot to get to the other point. You can possibly fuel cars with that stuff. The oils.
The oils, possibly.
Or it could replace your actual oil in a car. Who knows? But there's a lot of people, there's a lot of ways that could make money. But like we always said, God made pot, man made beer. Who do you trust?
Exactly.
I'm not a religious person, but I do like that saying.
If you actually went into my background, I'd say I'm probably Wiccan. You know, I believe in the natural order of things. I believe in the naturalization of everything. And that's a natural product.
Yeah, that's like...
Beer, on the other hand, it's made from natural
Have you ever seen somebody die from alcohol poisoning?
Oh, that's nasty.
Oh, man, that's a nasty sight.
Alcohol poisoning is...
Have you ever seen somebody die from marijuana overdose?
No.
Well, there you go.
Not unless they ate themselves to death.
The CDC's got 0 down on their reports, too. You said that before.
Yep.
The Center of Disease Control. Look it up.
Center for Disease Control.
Marijuana
CDC.
overdose. 0.
0. Huh. Yep.
You know, there may be marijuana-related accidents but you've always got idiots on the road. They don't always need marijuana and alcohol to fuck things up.
Well,
that just intensifies things.
That's a good example right there. Yesterday after work on the way home, I'm listening to the radio.
But
I'm glad I was out of Madison because they announced at around 4 o'clock in the afternoon on the radio, they talked about 4 different fucking accidents in Madison.
Wow. I wonder how many of them were alcohol related.
Probably fatigue related because these people were just getting off work around that time.
Yeah, and the Beltline's a bitch.
Yeah, that Beltline is a bitch. But, you know, yeah, we get off on a lot of things too. Whenever we're talking, we always, it goes in every direction. But right now, the way I look at it, Keebler Elf, he needs to crawl right back into his fucking tree.
He does look like a Keebler Elf, doesn't he?
He needs to crawl right back into his tree. And he needs to suck it up, Buttercup, and start making some fucking... Start making the pot brownies and the pot cookies for distribution.
At least Obama was saying...
Lay off of them.
Telling the feds to lay off. Okay, and they were laying off the states that are already legalized, and he's told the states to do what you want. It was your decision. And then he said, and then Obama turned around and said, and I wasn't a big fan of Obama's either, but I'll tell you what, he was trying to do the right thing.
Yeah, he did try to do the right thing.
I got to give him credit. He screwed up a lot of shit, but he still was trying to do the right thing. He was trying. I mean, when you're working with a bunch of assholes that's got their heads up their ass and they're always looking to line their fucking pockets, you know, there's not much you can do. You know,
I'll rehash a few things as I go along. I actually had it in my head, now can you remember?
I bet he was a good person to hang.
My train derailed.
I bet he was a good person to hang around once he got stoned. Obama.
Yeah.
I heard he's back to smoking pot.
Well, if he did,
I read an article about that he was smoking pot.
Yeah, but how true are those articles?
I don't know. But I mean, the thought of it would be funny.
Yeah, it would be.
A former president stoned off his mind sitting there in a circle like on that 70s show. That would be hilarious.
Yeah, craziness.
But really, seriously, something's got to be done. Every state's benefiting that's already legalized it and done something about it.
This is what I was going to rehash. I'll rehash this thing. The Republicans, during Obama's administration and during Bush's administration and everything, they always said, let the states decide. Let the states decide. Now that the states have decided, they're trying to come back and say, you can't have that.
Yeah. That's like, you know, Indian giver or something. Isn't that what that's called? I mean, you can't do that. All right. Till next time.
Peace.
Peace. All right.